right, first and foremost, they're having a debate because it's early August. We're in the dog days of sports radio, I guess. National pundits are asking, does Micah Parsons deserve to be the highest paid defensive end? Well, I mean, that's, is he better than Myles Garrett? Is he... Look, he along with Reggie White, are the only two players in the history of pro football to register 12 or more sacks in each of their first 4 seasons. Anytime you put your name next to the Minister of Defense and one of the greatest defensive players of all time, then I think you're doing something pretty good. But the whole idea, does he deserve to be the number one, paid player? Well, guess what? Anybody asking that question, if Jerry Jones had paid him last summer,
bingo,
he would have been $10 million cheaper and he wouldn't be the highest paid player. You could have got him for, everybody would have gone ahead of him, including T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett and guys that maybe are more accomplished into their careers. But that's on Jerry Jones. And now Jerry Jones is behind the curve as usual, and Micah Parsons wants to be traded. It's
like asking if Dak Prescott. Actually, maybe a better question is Micah Parsons, because I don't think Dak Prescott should be as paid as he is. But again, another thing you could avoid, right?
He could have avoided it. Just like he could have avoided Dak Prescott being the highest paid player of all time.
Yes.
If he had gotten ahead of it. CeeDee Lamb. I mean, all these things are more expensive because of the way Jerry operates. Now, again, that's old, but I wanted to put this out there because again, I was on team trade Micah back in February if you're not going to sign him, right? It's probably not best organizationally to be trading great players or, star players
in the prime of their career.
But when you're in the middle of a reboot or a rebuild like the Cowboys are, sometimes to take your best asset and fill multiple holes instead of putting a ton of money into one, that might actually be better, big picture. I'm open to that conversation. But the Cowboys didn't either. They didn't trade him before the draft, nor did they sign him to a new contract to avoid making him the highest paid defensive player that's not a quarterback of all time, which is what they're going to have to do. One of the two. They got to trade him or they got to sign him.
Right.
So NFL writer Zach Rosenblatt at theathletic.com put out yesterday something that I think is a pretty intriguing trade opportunity that I would actually sit here on a Tuesday morning and consider. He said, what if the Cowboys send their disgruntled star pass rusher to the rebuilding New York Jets in exchange for up to 3 future draft picks, could be 2 1s and a 2 or a 1 and 2 2s, as well as their young defensive end Jermaine Johnson and the former Iowa State running back Breece Hall. Okay? Let me play it. So you send Micah Parsons, he gets his contract with Jets. Aaron Glenn and that whole regime are rebuilding. He becomes a big name in New York City, gets his contract. Aaron Glenn's a defensive coach. They need pass rush. Jermaine Johnson is a 26-year-old former first-round pick out of Florida State who went to a Pro Bowl 2 years ago. And do you know who the Cowboys' defensive line coach is right now? A guy named Aaron Whitecotton, who was with the Jets and knows this player, knows his capabilities. He was he's first-round pick, 26th pick overall. He also, Breece Hall's only 24 years old out of Iowa State. He had an injury 1 year, but he could be the dual-threat running back that offense is lacking. Zeke Elliott was in his prime. And then you get 3 other day 1 or day 2 draft picks. I don't hate that trade. I'm just going to tell you. And I'm not saying this is on the table anywhere. This is complete speculation by someone looking at it. Was that Micah Parsons who requested to be traded out of Dallas? That's one I don't hate. You fill a need at defensive end. And this is not Micah Parsons, but he's a talented player. He's been to a Pro Bowl already. He's under 26 years old. Who then the defensive line coach you have on your staff knows him very well. You also get a running back who's 24 years old, whose best years are to come, in my opinion, to go with pretty good receiver core, pretty good quarterback in Dak Prescott, rebuilt offensive line. But I don't know. And then future picks, because the Jets aren't going to be very good. Those are going to be high picks. I don't hate that trade at all.
I don't either, E. But I don't think it's going to happen. Because you know why? Jerry Jones is the GM. He ain't smart enough to put that together.
Come on, Jerry.
You go read the article and try to base off the trade off of what they said there. I don't think so. But yes, I mean, from a trade standpoint, you look at apples and oranges.
The point of this conversation, it's all speculation. But the point is,
that makes sense.
If Micah holds on, I said yesterday they're not going to trade him at this point. You're not. But if you got that return,
sure,
you could actually, because again, that's also add to the fact the Cowboys are in a rebuild. They have holes to fill. They need more. That's 5 players right there for one, right? Because you're 3 draft picks and 2 good players who are 26 and below at need positions. And maybe this Donovan Ezaraku is a replacement at pass rush and can be one of those guys. And he's not Micah Parsons, but Jermaine Johnson and Ozi Odigizua. You're a project now. The Cowboys aren't winning the Super Bowl this year anyhow. That ain't going to happen. But
I hate to break it to you.
But even with Micah Parsons signed in the highest paid non-quarterback of all time.
Correct.
If they get that done. So one of the two are going to happen. They're either going to sign him and he's going to play, or they're going to have, does Micah go Emmitt Smith and start missing games and you consider trade him? You have to find a willing partner because the Jets are also know they're in rebuild. Would they sit and consider that and say, okay, we give up two good players, but there's a lot of people in New York who don't think they're going to re-sign Breece Hall anyhow. Right. Because they drafted Braylon Allen out of Wisconsin. He's the back of the future, and they're not in a position to give a running back a second contract while they're in a rebuild. And Jermaine Johnson, so essentially you're trading picks of your future and Jermaine Johnson for Micah Parsons. Aaron Glenn might say, and their new general manager might say, we need those picks, which is fair. But I don't know. So I get on with either side would do it. I just put it out there. I think
the Jets would get a blue chip guy in the prime of his career on the defense side of the ball, which let's call it how it is. That's the better side of the ball for the Jets.
Well, and is there again, this is speculation, but as a matter of fact, is it good for the Cowboys to have the highest paid quarterback, the highest paid defensive player, and one of the two highest paid wide receivers?
No.
That's probably not ideal when you're funneling that much money into three players.
And your win total is 7.5. That's what Vegas thinks of you. I know it's Vegas and it could be different, but that's what they think of you. Well, you're a middle of the pack team at best.
Yeah, that's
with the three highest paid players at their position.
So we'll just throw it out there. What say you? 512-834-1027. Maybe. But again, Jerry's your general manager, so that ain't happening.
And that's where we could take this. It actually makes sense.
But if that got put on the table, and we don't know if the Jets would actually put that on the table. So plenty of quarterback rankings come out this time of year, Noah Kreitz. Plenty of this is the best, this is the tiers, all that stuff. It's always fine. It sparks a good discussion. But what's the most important position in sport? When it comes to the most important position in sports, combined with the most bet on sports in a sport in North America and really around the globe, what do you really want to know? You want to know who the quarterbacks to bet on are, right? That's the ranking you're looking for. So ahead of the season, Yahoo Sports put a list together that could actually be helpful to you sports gamblers, Noah. You did starter kits over there. Yahoo spoke to 12 odds makers from 11 legal sports books across the country. These are the experts, right? These are the guys should be like, this is the group that should be picking the college football playoff, right? The odds makers from sports books. They know their stuff because they don't like to lose. They asked each one of them for the difference in a point spread if a quarterback starts the game or doesn't, considering the backup. Like, what is the point value to not having the starting quarterback, which would then give you their opinion on who are the most valuable quarterbacks.
Okay.
To the point spread, which is to winning games. And who do you believe came out as the number one quarterback, most valuable quarterback against the spread, considering the current line, how close it is to a key number, which is important when you're handicapping. You got to take the quarterback's talent level versus what the backup is, and how far of a drop that is. How much the offense would need to change with the backup, and then the strength of the offensive coordinator overall and the talent around him where he doesn't have to carry the mail. So also where the game is being played, road and neutral. So who are the top 5 against the spread quarterback values in the NFL? Could you guess the number one? According to 12 odds makers.
Number one, I would think right away, even though they won some games without him, was Joe Burrow.
Nope.
How about Josh Allen?
Josh Allen is number one. And what the Yahoo did is they gave them a chart, and so the number poll. Josh Allen is worth almost a touchdown.
Yeah.
And the extra point.
Well, you got Mitchell Trubisky backing him up.
Yeah, because Mitch Trubisky is your quarterback. And they're not loaded with offensive skill talent, right? So
that's true.
So he is, according to Vegas, Josh Allen is worth 6.98 points against the spread.
That makes sense.
Because, when he first came in the league in his first few years, accuracy and propensity for turnovers were his problem. Since he's cut those down, he is their offense, right? He's 73, he tied for the league's best QBR last year, 28 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, along with 12 rushing touchdowns. And if he's not in there, it's Mitch Trubisky. Ooh. You go from a team that could win the Super Bowl to a team that might not beat the Jets.
No.
That's worth a lot of points.
That is worth a lot of points.
So, hey, Sean McDermott. Keep that guy healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I feel bad because I just don't think Sean McDermott's a very good football coach at the end of the day. And poor Josh Allen has deserved to play in a Super Bowl at this point.
He has.
We can get to Lamar Jackson and his lack of playoff performance. Josh Allen's performed.
He's performed.
It's
the defense.
You know what the defense with Sean McDermott, that's his side of the ball. You know what points they allow averaging in playoff games?
I'm going to say somewhere in the 30s.
33 points.
There you go. Bingo.
Why is he still the coach?
Ooh.
If you give Josh Allen some defense, you're going to be in the Super Bowl.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
Terrible. Number 2, the most valuable against the spread quarterback in the National Football League is?
I would assume someone like a Lamar Jackson.
Nope. Patrick Mahomes. According to the odds makers. It says even with all the accolades to Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes needed one more point from any odds maker to surpass Josh Allen in the voting. He is worth 6.94 points because he still wins football games for the Chiefs.
No doubt.
And if you're a gambler, all you're trying to do is cover the spread. Patrick Mahomes is going to keep you in most every game and keep it close and usually win them. How many ugly close games did they win last year?
A whole lot. Majority of them.
They went 15-2. But they were only 8-9 against the spread last year.
Blocked field goal. I think that was Denver to win a game.
8-9 against the spread last year.
Yeah, that's wild.
The Chiefs were, but they were 15-2. Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3 is Lamar Jackson at 6.65. Again, people forget Lamar Jackson was 41 touchdowns through the air last year, only 4 interceptions, and he ran for 915 yards and 4 more. And he also opened up the lane for Derrick Henry to rush for 1,900 yards.
That dynamic duo. He was a big part of it.
When they're together, that's almost unstoppable. But as we've asked Lamar Jackson, I mean, this isn't a knock on Lamar. We're just asking you to perform in the playoffs like you do in the regular season when you are ridiculous. When you get to the postseason, it's not the same. Is it because you're playing better teams and defenses? Is it Josh Allen performs? His team just can't stop any damn buddy. But Lamar Jackson's not the same video game quarterback in the playoffs as he is in the regular season. That's his issue. But he is worth 6.65 points. His backup quarterback, Cooper Rush.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The former Cowboy. Number 4 on the list this year, and up several spots from last year's poll of the odds makers, is Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Worth 6.31 points. So this was a little bit more mixed because his backup is Tanner McKee. Who?
Tanner McKee, and now it's Kyle McCord at QB3. Remember him?
Yeah, but here's an odds maker says he's up there, Jalen Hurts with Lamar and Josh Allen, right behind Mahomes, in my opinion. The offense is essentially built around Hurts. They're a run-first, run-second team, and obviously his ability with the tush-push helps them score touchdowns and keep drives alive. And that's important because you're trying to keep drives alive and wear teams down so that Saquon Barkley then can go home run hitter, right?
Right.
It's their recipe. He was not, outside of the touchdown scored, he was not a stat marvel last year, right? Joe Burrow's 5,000 yards. He's under 3,000 passing, right? But Joe Burrow is number 5, by the way, at 5.60.
Can I give you an honorable mention? I think for sure should be on this list.
Yes.
I would say Jane Daniels because you're
He's
back up.
9th on the list. I think they need more sample. The odds makers are...
That's fair.
More sample size? They need more.
Because you trust Marcus Mariota leading the offense out there?
No.
I don't.
So your top 5, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, are essentially 1 and 1A by a decimal point. Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, they say. That's what Jim Harbaugh says about the guy.
You don't trust Taylor Heineke or Trey Lance or DJU?
Dak Prescott, 7. Jared Goff, 8. Jaden Daniels, 9. CJ Stroud, 10.
I was going to wonder if CJ was on here.
CJ, 10, as far as...
Is it still Mills Mafia? Are you still a Mills Mafia?
Yeah, Davis Mills behind our man CJ. Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Tua, Trevor Lawrence, and Brock Purdy are the top 15. So that's according to 12 odds makers in Vegas, which quarterbacks are worth the most value. Our man Josh Allen is worth almost a touchdown, which is pretty ridiculous. And when you consider it this way, if you don't gamble, that's fine. If you take Saquon Barkley off the Eagles, or you take a running back or a position player, maybe Jamar Chase for the Bengals, it only moves the line by a point or 2, maybe 3 against the right opponent, because quarterback is that important. So when you consider, when I say it's worth almost 7 points, if Josh Allen's playing in a game, they could be favored by 10. If he's not playing, they're favored by 3.
Yeah.
And
he creates so much on offense. I mean, that's just so apparent.
That's a crazy swing.
Especially what we saw last year. I mean, he really took control. Once Stephon Diggs went to Houston, I mean, it felt like he was in total control of the offense, completely not trying to force the ball to anybody.
All right, there you go. There's some conversations. Micah Parsons trade with the Jets. What do you think?
Well,
I kind of like it, but it probably won't happen, but it's a fun conversation.